Poetic justice doesn't get sweeter than this. The man who spent years trying to destroy Donald Trump just got hit with a bombshell federal criminal investigation that could land him years in prison. Adam Schiff, the same guy who pushed the Russian collusion hoax, who led the sham impeachment and called Trump a criminal at every turn, is now officially under investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Maryland for mortgage fraud. And gang, when you see what he allegedly did to rip off American taxpayers, your jaw is going to drop. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to give you a front row seat on how you are changing the world and holding these corrupt politicians accountable in ways you never even imagined. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. As we speak, a real federal criminal probe with real evidence has been launched against one of the single most repulsive senators in office, censured for lying while he was in the House of Representatives, Adam Schiff. It all started when Fannie Mae's Financial Crimes Division caught Schiff in what they're calling a sustained pattern of possible occupancy misrepresentation. It's a fancy schmancy way of saying he allegedly lied on mortgage documents for over a decade to steal money from hardworking Americans. So here's the smoking gun that has Schiff sweating bullets right now as we speak. In 2011, Shifty Schiff signed an affidavit under oath declaring that his Montgomery County, Maryland home was his primary residence. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. At that exact same time, he was also claiming his Burbank, California condo as his primary residence during his Senate campaign. Now, why does this matter? Because by falsely claiming the Maryland property as his primary home, Schiff got a sweetheart mortgage rate that saved him thousands of dollars, money that should have gone, of course, to legitimate homeowners. And it worked the other way around. Schiff was also simultaneously claiming his Burbank home as his primary residence for tax purposes. So this is what's known as a dual residence scam. A dual residence scam aims to save money on both ends, lower mortgage rates in Maryland and lower property taxes in California. Yes, lower property, if you can believe it, lower property tax in California. You only actually pay the property taxes of how much your house was worth at the time you bought it in California, and that's permanent until you sell it. While Schiff was claiming his Maryland home as his primary residence to get cheaper loans, he was also at the same time claiming his California condo as his primary residence to get a $7,000 property tax exemption. So he was double dipping. He was committing fraud in two states simultaneously to line his own pockets. And so it's now been confirmed that some weeks back, the Federal Housing Finance Agency sent an official criminal referral to the Justice Department for potential prosecution. And their findings were absolutely damning. The director of the finance agency wrote that they have evidence that Schiff falsified bank documents and property records to acquire more favorable loan terms, affecting payments over the course of nearly 20 years, from 2003 to 2019. So we're talking here about a 16-year pattern of alleged criminal behavior. But if you can believe it, it gets even more corrupt. A confidential Fannie Mae memo obtained by investigators shows that Schiff engaged in this fraudulent scheme across 5 separate Fannie Mae loans. The memo states he showed a sustained pattern of possible occupancy misrepresentation. But the best part is what President Trump just said about this guy who led the impeachment effort against him. I mean, seriously, gang, to call this poetic justice would be an absolute understatement. But first, you know what? I just found out something wild about stem cells. Now, stem cells are like tiny repair crews in your body, and they go out and fix whatever needs to be repaired. If it's in your heart, liver, or skin, they'll fix it. But most stem cell therapies are illegal in the United States, not because they're unsafe, but because they work too well, which threatens big pharma. I mean, imagine, what if you could heal your knees, fix your back, or recover from surgery without pills, without insurance, or without endless doctor visits? Well, that's bad for profits, which is why the FDA has blocked these treatments. Now, people go overseas for access, paying up to $50,000 for one stem cell injection. But here's what most people don't know. High flavanol cocoa can naturally boost your own stem cell activity. Studies show it helps stem cells flow from your bone marrow into your bloodstream like bees from a hive. Harvard scientist Dr. William Lee actually backs this up. Check it out.
If you take the really dark chocolate, like 73% cacao, the really dark chocolate, and you make it into a high flavanol hot chocolate drink, and you have it twice a day. This was a clinical study. They found in people who wound up actually drinking the hot chocolate twice a day over the course of a month, they doubled the number of stem cells compared to the people who didn't drink hot chocolate, right? So when you and I were growing up, right, in grade school, we learned from our teachers that starfish can regenerate, salamanders can regenerate, but people can't regenerate, right?
Can't grow a new arm.
It's true, you can't grow a new arm, but we do regenerate. We regenerate every day. We know that we regenerate because our hair falls out and grows back. Our gut lining grows back. Our livers can grow back. If you actually remove part of your liver, it'll grow back. Our skin grows back, Our bodies possess the ability to regenerate through stem cells.
That's right, gang. Dark chocolate. Who knew? But here's the thing. Flavanols are the good stuff found in cocoa beans, but they're usually destroyed during the chocolate making process. But the good news is that Black Forest Supplements has created the first ever high flavanol cocoa powder packed with everything your body actually needs. It's only 20 calories. I mix it with my coffee every morning, and I absolutely love it. It tastes amazing. I mean, this isn't your average cocoa. It's a stem cell power-up. And if you're experiencing significant aging, slow recovery, or weak immunity, or just feeling off, give this a try. I think you're going to be blown away. Click on that link below, and for the next 48 hours, you can get a whopping 40% off your order. You heard that right, 40% off your order. What do you got to lose? But this promo is just for the next 48 hours, so don't wait. Click on that link below right now. President Trump just called Schiff out on Truth Social, saying, quote, Adam Schiff is a thief. He should be prosecuted just like they tried to prosecute me. Trump pointed out the massive hypocrisy. Quote, we were totally innocent. It was all a giant hoax. But Schiff, the evidence against him is rock solid. Now, the timing in all this could not possibly be more perfect. This is the same Adam Schiff who spent years claiming Trump was a criminal mastermind, who led bogus impeachment circuses, who told America that Trump was unfit for office. Now we're finding out that while he was pointing fingers at Trump, he was the one the entire time who was allegedly breaking federal law. Now, this case eerily mirrors that of former Baltimore prosecutor Marilyn Mosby, who was convicted in 2023 for nearly identical mortgage fraud charges. If Schiff is found guilty, he could face serious federal prison time for wire fraud, mail fraud, bank fraud, and making false statements to financial institutions. So simply put, as we speak, the walls are closing in. And Schiff knows it. And all you have to do is look at his pathetic response. He's calling this, of course, it's a political retaliation. It's political retaliation. He's even desperately trying to distract from all this by bringing up, I kid you not, by bringing up Jeffrey Epstein. Talk about how sleazy this guy is. In the end, bringing Schiff under federal investigation is what real accountability looks like. The very accountability you voted for in November. This is what I mean when I say you are changing the world like you never even imagined. After years of Schiff weaponizing the justice system against Trump and his supporters, karma is finally catching up with this corrupt politician. I mean, the irony is absolutely delicious. The man who spent years trying to put Trump in prison might end up there himself. So what do you guys think? I want to know in the comments section below. Do you think Adam Schiff is going to face the full force of federal prosecution for allegedly defrauding American taxpayers? I always have to say allegedly. Let me know in the comments section below, and let me know if you think this is just the beginning of exposing the deep corruption inside the Democrat Party. And if you want to stay updated on this developing story as more evidence comes to light, smack that bell and subscribe button, because something tells me this is just the tip of the shifty Schiff iceberg. The hunter has indeed now become the hunted. All right, gang, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Registration is now open for the America Awakened Masterclass. This isn't just some pre-recorded snooze fest. This is a live, no-holds-barred deep dive with me. Raw, real, unfiltered, just like the early days when Turley Talks lit the fire that built a movement. Now listen, our early bird discount is disappearing fast. Time is short. Click that link, lock in your seat, and be a part of the cultural renaissance rising across the nation. Let's awaken America together.